We will discuss a case study to showcase cyber kill chain in real world. This happened back in 2013, but this is one of the most well documented and most well known cyber attacks on an organization, and it had huge impact. We are going to discuss different phases of the cyber kill chain, and we're going to see what happened exactly at each step. This is going to give you a flavor of how the cyber kill chain actually works in the real world. First, let's see what were the different impacts. The first was that 40 million credit debit card numbers were stolen. In addition to that, 70 million customer records were stolen. And the total loss resulting from this incident was upwards of 200 million. And it also led to the eventual resignation of Target's CEO as well as CIO. Now let's see how the attack actually happened. So the first step was reconnaissance. So in the reconnaissance phase, they basically researched Target's networks and suppliers. And the attackers, they didn't go after Target directly. They first identified a small company called Fazio Mechanical. Now, this was a small HVAC company that had remote access to Target for billing and maintenance. Now, this company's website had minimal security, and the attackers they decided to first infiltrate this website, this organization, and then they could get access to Target. So the first phase was complete. In reconnaissance phase, they basically identified that Target had Fazio Mechanical as a subsidiary, as a supplier of HVAC maintenance, billing, and those kind of things. And their website had vulnerabilities. It had minimal security. So attackers they targeted this organization first. They moved on to the next phase, which was weaponization. So the next phase was weaponization. So a malware variant based on Zeus. So this is a common banking Trojan which is widely used to attack financial institutions. So a variant of Zeus was prepared to steal login credentials and later point of sales data. A second piece of malware called Black Ops was custom built for scraping memory, basically extracting unencrypted data directly from memory. So then the attackers moved on to the third phase. So the third phase was delivery. So they needed to send the malware that they had just prepared in the previous step, in the weaponization step, to the target. So a phishing email was sent to an employee at Fazio Mechanical. So the employee clicked that phishing link, and as a result, malware was successfully installed on Fazio Mechanical's systems. So this completed the third phase, which was delivery. The next phase was exploitation. The infected HVAC system gave attackers access to Fazio Mechanical's internal credentials. And unfortunately, those same credentials were used to access Target. The next phase was installation. Using Fazio's credentials, attackers accessed Target systems and they were able to enter Target's internal business network. And then they successfully installed the malware in Target's network and they began lateral movement across the network. The next phase was command and control. So this was the command and control station. And this malware communicated with this remote command and control station located in Russia. So this command and control station was located in Russia. And the way attackers were able to hide their footprint from the security tools in Target was that they used encryption on this tunnel. So this two-way communication between the malware and the remote command and control station was carried over encrypted channels so that they remain invisible to security tools in Target. The last phase was action on objective. Over a few weeks during peak holiday season, attackers deployed RAM scraping or memory scraping malware to 1800 point of sale terminals within Target. Data was exfiltrated to staging servers within Target and then siphoned off to attacker controlled servers. So all of this data, which was a lot because it was holiday season, was basically exfiltrated using this secure tunnel between the malware and the remote command and control station. So this is how the cyber kill chain actually worked in real life. So we discussed that the first phase was reconnaissance, in which the attackers they did some research about the target and then they found out that instead of directly attacking the core organization, they found out Fazio Mechanical, which was basically an affiliated company, but they had access and their security was not up to date. In weaponization, they basically crafted Trojan and malware, Zeus and Black Ops, which can be delivered. The next phase was delivery. A phishing email was sent to an employee who then clicked it, and then malware was installed firstly on Fazio Mechanical systems, and then using the credentials, they were able to access target. Then they started the exploitation, installation, and then remote command and control station communication. And finally, the action on objective, in which they exfiltrated significant amounts of data. So this was an excellent example of how the different phases of cyber kill chain are linked together and how the attack actually evolves.